Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. There is some confusion about what is happening today. There was supposed to be a 9:30 press conference. There's no guarantee that's actually going to happen now. He may have had a change of mind. It was first assumed he was resigning, and indeed all over Twitter, Resignation Watch was labelled. Everyone was saying he was going. Then it was like, oh no, he's not going. And now you're getting places like The Times, you're getting STV, which is pro-SNP, and you're getting the Daily Express, and they're all coming out with the story that he is on resignation watch. There are close colleagues that have spoken in confidence and saying they're pretty sure he's going. He's got to see the reality and everything. But then you're getting the likes of Sky News saying he's going to fight on. You're getting the National saying he's going to fight on, but you don't believe a word the National say. And so there's all this confusion. Again, a showing of a lack of leadership. And it doesn't matter whether he goes today or he leaves it till Monday. He has a little weekend. So enjoy Butte House for one last wonderful weekend before getting himself out. He's got to go by Wednesday because he can't possibly win. Now, he's relying, of course, on Ash Regan. And more on that. I've got a video coming up next about Ash Regan's demand. I don't know if it'll be next. It'll be whenever it's edited down. But about Ash Regan's demands. It'll be worth a laugh and have a look at that. But given how he described her as nothing of value was lost when she left, there's no guarantee even if he gives in and says to her she can have everything that she will. She may just be stringing him along. And of course, it's not guaranteed that everyone in the SNP will vote for him. You know, I think he got to go. It's how he is. If he goes now, keeps the dignity. Otherwise, he looks a fool. But we'll take a quick look at this to see the resignation watch is real. Here goes. Now, I don't want this to run on too long. I've had a long video today. We'll keep it nice and short. But Humza Yousaf on resignation watch ahead of knife-edge confidence vote. A former ally of the First Minister has said Mr Yousaf is done as the SNP hold their breath ahead of next week's make or break showdown, assuming it even gets there and he hasn't resigned first. He must know that he's done. We mentioned earlier that Fergus may well not even vote. He has no obligation to do so. He may find an excuse not to, and if that's the case, then it's done and dusted. It doesn't matter what Ash Regan does. The power isn't in Humza Yousaf's hands, and he's got to accept that. And given that everyone on the opposition benches have said they're going to vote against, he's got very little hope. And the thing is, just as an aside, even if he does win the confidence vote and it comes down to the presiding officer giving the vote out of, convention, shall we say, he's so weakened by that the SNP themselves must see that he's got to go. He cannot be a leader being so weak and knowing then, therefore, that they're never going to win a vote. All the opposition have to do is just keep voting against everything. Vote against. And eventually, of course, boom, it's done. They've got to get rid of him. They can't get policy through, and that's it. Anyway, Humza Yousaf is considering whether to resign before losing next week's crunch confidence vote. It has been reported. Yousaf's future as First Minister of Scotland now hangs in the balance, with 64 MSPs from the Tories, Labour, Greens and Lib Dems all pledging to vote against him continuing in office. And with just 63 SNP MSPs, the future of Nicola Sturgeon's failure of a successor now rests on the vote of Alba MSP Ash Regan, whom Mr Yousaf insulted as no great loss when she defected from the SNP last October. However, will she defect back? This is one of the other questions that's being asked. Will she switch back to the SNP to bounce the vote? Could be. But on the other hand, if someone like Fergus Ewing and Kate Forbes don't vote, they don't have to vote against. They just abstain. It's done. With the vote set to be knife-edge result, it's now been claimed that Mr Yousaf is considering whether to jump before he's pushed from the top job in Scottish politics. And a former ally and supporter of Mr Yousaf has told The Times he's done. Whether it's today, tomorrow or later than that, he's done. They all know it. He's dead man walking. You know, and I used this in a comment earlier, but I think it works so well. It's a dead man walking down the Royal Mile, you know. This is a man who is finished. Meanwhile, STV has also reported that the SNP chief is considering his position. A spokesman for Mr Yousaf has ruled out that he could resign as soon as today, with the First Minister set to deliver a speech at his lunchtime at Strathclyde University. And asked whether he will resign if he loses the vote of confidence, the spokesman said they wouldn't answer hypothetical questions. It's not hypothetical, it's a genuine question, because he cannot win the vote without some severe chicanery, basically. But I can't see him winning the vote. Thankfully for Mr Yousaf, 15 days ago he overtook former Labour First Minister Henry McLeish's tenure, meaning he will just avoid having to suffer the ignominy of being Scotland's shortest serving leader in history. Mr Yousaf has cancelled at least one planned visit, prompting speculation over his schedule over the coming week. When you're getting him cancelling events because he's too scared to go and face the public, you know that things are not well in Bute House. There she is, a woman who definitely not a leader, but with her stance on women's safety and child safety, I have grown to give her a little bit of grudging respect. So don't let us down, Ash. Vote the right way. Don't keep that idiot in power. The idiot who insulted you. The idiot who, for the whole of Scotland, needs to go. Do the right thing. Anyway, a source told the Times this appears to have been war-gamed without anyone knowing how to count. However, one senior SNP source predicted that Mr Yousaf will stay and fight for his job. Only one MSP needs to change their mind, and he's going to make every effort to convince at least one MSP to do that. Yeah. That's not including the ones on his own side that won't. He said, delighting in the SNP's implosion, Tory Minister Andrew Bowie yesterday pointed out, so the future of Nicola Sturgeon's continuity candidate's entire First Ministership is now dependent on the whim of one member of a party led by Alex Salmond. Salmond yesterday said that Regan, who had sent the SNP a list of demands she wants, meeting before Mr Yousaf gets her support, said he's the most powerful MSP in the Scottish Parliament. But he also criticised his successor but one's kamikaze instinct. I tell you what, he is done. He's drinking that. So that is the Kool-Aid. He is literally drinking the Kool-Aid, and then he's going to depart the field as a loser. Coming up, he must see that he cannot win. He must see that whatever the outcome is, he's done. He either resigns and he's walking away with dignity, or he hangs on to the fight, to the vote for the confidence, and he loses, and he's done. Only this time with greater humiliation. Or he might just squeeze through on that one vote by the presiding officer, in which case he's still done because he knows that he's only hanging on there by protocol. But even then, there's no guarantee that the presiding officer will give him the vote. She doesn't have to. She's not obligated to. And so he could lose the vote of confidence. Or if any one member of his own party decides not to vote for him, not even a vote against but abstain, he's done. And even in the really tiny, unlikely event he wins the vote of confidence, he's still done. He's a lame duck. Nothing will go through. He's got to see this. His days as leader are over. He can walk away now, or he can slide away and crawl under a stone later. It's his choice. Thank you very much for watching. Do please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment. Please share the video, and I will speak to you later. Bye.